Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. Good morning, brothers and sisters. I want to thank you all for being here today. It's a beautiful, fucking beautiful day. And I'm gonna tell you all about the beautiful day and the hectic night that preceded it. We will talk about immigration, and I promise you that. I don't know how much I'll get to talk. We'll talk about it, damn it. And we're going to talk about some serious shit today. And hopefully, if things are working right, you have an opportunity to bitch just like I'm about to bitch, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. Okay, I'm here for you. And so if you want to bitch, reach out to us somehow. Like if you got to use the little texty things. Oh, I'm sorry. I should start off with a prayer, shouldn't I? Dear Lord. Whew, Lord. I didn't have time to write anything today, last night, this morning, anytime. So please don't let me fuck up too much. Let's begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, we want you to help this show move along, but if it doesn't move along, help the staff behind the scenes realize that I got two things just in case I fuck up and need time for stalling purposes. Dear Lord, if you hear me, the first priority is the harvest. There's like a picture of trees and stuff. Dear Lord, that's the first priority if you hear me. Okay, you can show me a sign if you know what I'm talking about, Lord. Okay, and dear Lord, no. Yes, thank you, Lord, thank you. And the second fallback position, oh Lord, if you hear me, is a critical joke theory. That's only if I'm really desperate. Show me a sign if you know what I'm talking about, Lord. Yeah. All right, thank you, Lord. See, children. The Lord hears you. You just have to know how and why and where to do what you got to do so the Lord hears you. That's what I'm saying. Prayers are answered all the fucking time. Lord have mercy. And finally, I need to say a few words for a friend of mine who passed away last week. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. I did not know that he was leaving, but he's gone. Mind Dog Coffee wasn't here. He was here, but now he's gone. Left his bump to carry on. All bump, no coffee. And that's some strong shit without the coffee. You need the Lord. See, you should have been paying attention. You should have supported the coffee when you had it. Now it's not here anymore. It's like a good friend. You should have supported it. You should have bought the shit up, and now it's gone. It's gone. So rest in peace, Mind Dog Coffee and tea. Actually, I don't know about the tea. I'll have to check. I didn't read the full obituary. I just read the first line of the obituary where it said that the Mind Dog Coffee was gone. And I had a moment of silence, deep silence. I mean, because Mind Dog Coffee made my career, well, the past few weeks anyway, of my career. The past 12 weeks of my career was made by Mind Dog Coffee. I mean, that's it. I mean, the first 10 years of my career, fuck, y'all, I did all that on my own, kind of. I had some help. And I'm going to talk about my help because I spent some time with my help last night. Okay. I'm going to go way off script before I go on script about immigration. I spent, like a lot of the people in the Northeast and some of the Midwest and this part of the South, all over the fucking country dealing with the snows. Now, I know the 9 inches that I got, and I'm not bragging, the 9 inches that I got is not as much as some people who got like 3, 4, 5 feet, which is ridiculous. But it's all in perspective. It's by perspective. See, I have a church to run. And having a church to run means I go out and I service other people. I don't expect people to service me. Okay. I have a wife to do that on my birthday. But what I'm there for is to service the people. I am a minister, not an administrator. See, and a minister serves the people. An administrator gets served by the people. See, that's why they're called administrators. It's like add in and add out. Add in, like in tennis, where you have add is short for advantage. Okay. And so the administrators take advantage of the people being ministered. But being a minister, I serve those people. Okay. Yeah. Like you said, I told you 1,000. I told you once, I told you not quite 1,000 times, but almost 1,000, 6 times. I think I told you 6 times that I am an entomologist. Okay. I study the words that are related to the fluffy pastry words with the yeast and shit. That's what I study, the history of those kinds of things. So I can break it down, the word for you. I can break down the word for you. I can break down words like never been broken before. Lord have mercy. Yeah. So, we had 9 inches of snow, but we didn't have it all at one time. Okay. And most of you who have to do with the snow understand what I'm about to say. It's really not the snow is not that bad. You go out, you shovel it like I do for my driveway because it's asphalt. I shovel my driveway, but then I have a long driveway. Again, not bragging, because if I say 200 feet, 254 feet and 13 inches, 254 feet, 13 inches, someone's going to say, well, my driveway is 400 feet. You know something? Good for you. I didn't want a driveway that long. I didn't want a driveway 250 feet long because I had a problem when my driveway was only 100 feet long. Now, I'm not saying that driveway grew, that it used to be 100 feet and it grew another 150 feet, 54 feet, 13 inches. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying we moved here and we knew when we moved here that if it snowed, which we know it snows in Maryland, that we were going to have to deal with the shit. And I said, don't worry. We'll deal with it. We got a snow thrower. Now, the thing is, it's an unfinished road. So your snow thrower on an unfinished road is useful, but it's not really, really useful as if you had a plow to just push the shit off to the side. But then you fuck up all the gravel and shit, and then the next thing you know, you got mud down there. So, and people with long roads know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are more urban in nature, like, I don't understand what, just don't apply to me and shut the fuck up. It will. Just listen. Don't be bitching before you get shit. Now, you can bitch. If you want to bitch, please feel free to bitch. Just reach out to the however you want to do it, through the internet, or if you want to reach out through the Google machine, or if you want to call with a email, call. If you want to, like, if you want to bitch live, say the word, and we'll somehow get you a link, and you can like push your face in here and bitch, and we will help you. Okay, I'll help you bitch. I'll listen to you bitch. Okay, but don't give me no weak bitching, because if you come bitching and you bitch weak, I'm gonna chew you a new one. Okay, bitch strong. Don't bitch weak. Don't be a weak bitch. That's what I'm just saying. So you can bitch, and you're invited to bitch. I love the bitching. Always love the bitching. So, like I said, our driveway it's unfinished. It's just gravel out there. And so yesterday I got up early, and when I mean early, I mean way fucking. I got up early in the morning. I got up early in the day. I got up way before the sun rose. I was up before the birds. Not really. They were waiting for me. I was up before the squirrels. They were also waiting for me, but I got a sermon to do, and I have to do that. I have to talk about that kind of shit. But I was definitely up before it was around 7 o'clock a.m. So, but there were probably a lot of people and a lot of things that were already up before 7. But when you don't have to get up that early, that's early in the morning. If you don't have to. And Saturdays, I don't have to get up that early. I can sleep till 7:30 on a Saturday. But because it was something inside of me pushing me out of bed, it was just pushing me out of bed, my bladder. Because I drink a lot of water. Try to stay in shape. I drink a lot of water. So my bladder pushed me out of bed at 7 a.m. so I can get up early in the morning and get some extra half hour to get shit done yesterday. So because it had been snowing, and this is the really thing that really pissed me off. We just had snow on Monday and Tuesday, and it caused us to cancel a thing that we were going to do because the venue said, we're up here in the sticks, and we don't think people can make it to the sticks through all the snow, so we're going to cancel. And I pretended I was happy. I pretended I understood. I went, okay. But in a way, but I was also tired because I shoveled snow that day too. Again, so I shoveled and everything. It looked beautiful. It was beautiful. I could make it out. Everybody could make it out. My wife, Amona, she has an itty bitty car. She has a Prius. My wife, Amona, has a Prius. Now I don't. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, the driveway was beautiful. It was navigationable. You could drive through the shit. And now just beyond that, like here we go. Let me show. I'm gonna show you something. I'm not gonna turn the camera because I won't be able to fix it right again. But if you can do this, okay? Just follow my directions. Do what I do. Whatever you do, just do what I do. Turn right 90 degrees. Okay. Now we're facing the driveway. If we point to the left up that way, point with me that way, I have one more neighbor, okay? And they are out of town. And I can tell you that you're not going to rob the house because I didn't say the house was empty. But the neighbor, they're out of town. They're visiting their grandchild overseas. And it's funny, I have other friends. I have friends who have grandkids now. And when they go to visit, they don't say they're going to visit their kids and grandkids. Every one of them says they're going to visit their grandkids, as if once their kids have had kids, they don't need their kids anymore. I'm anal. There was a hair on the bottom of this camera that you couldn't see it, but I could see it. And it was driving me fucking crazy, just hanging like this. And there's another one right here. I'm sorry, you can't see it, but it's driving me crazy. I'm a little anal, especially on my birthday. So they have kids that are in their 20s because they had a lot of kids. The woman, she had 7. They had 7 kids. Now, while the parents are gone, they have like 2 kids that are there in their 20s, but they're not shoveling shit. We have a community driveway, and usually myself and my neighbor, we get out together and do the driveway, but they just drive. Now, the thing is, when they're driving, they're packing the shit down, which makes it hard for me to throw it because they're just packing. But that's beside the point. So, or it could be the point. But anyway, it was beautiful. Everybody could get in and out. Everybody could get in and out. I did all that stuff. Like I said, I served the community. I went in and out and did all that beautiful. That was Tuesday. Well, Friday, we got hit with more snow. And it was a different snow. It was a fluffy snow. It's just fluffy, that kind of snow. See, the first snow was kind of wet and it didn't blow. Once you plowed it out the way, whatever snow was in the field stayed in the field. There was field snow, and then there was blown snow. Field snow on Tuesday, no problem. Friday snow, it was a wet, fluffy snow. I mean, it was a little fluffy snow, the kind that blows. And we have wind here. I mean, and that is the one beautiful thing about it. Right now, I could put up a windmill and power my house. I have wind almost all the time because I'm on a hill. And because I'm on a hill, the air is like moving down this way like all the time. So I'd have like a windmill. It would be like this. Just like that. Now, for those of you who can't see and you're listening, I'm a windmill. I'm a little windmill, short and stout. These are the things that I can't name, so I'll point them out. The fans that just move around like that. So the windmill, if I had one, could power, my house. It would just move like that. Now, so Saturday, I got up because it's been snowing Friday night. Now, Friday, it snowed, and I plowed the driveway, did the driveway and the whole thing, did it and salted it, hoping that it would, the salt would make a difference. And it did on my driveway. My driveway stayed clear, but the gravel driveway, the gravel road got covered with snow. The salt got covered up and the wind blew and covered it up. So Saturday I got up and I plowed it again and I spent hours out there. Hours from like 8 to 11. Technically, 8 to 11:44. I know what time I stopped because I looked at my phone because I listen to music when I'm working. I'm out there dealing with the music. So, and that's when I stopped, 11:44. And I didn't stop because I was tired. I stopped because I was finished. I just happened to also be exhausted, but I was finished. And so I go in the house, and then my wife, Mona, we went to the market. And by the time we got back from the market, it was 2:15. And now I have to feed our cat, and I have to feed the stray animals out back, which means I trogged out into the woods with the food for the stray animals so that they don't starve because they got nothing to eat either. They, they could eat, but they're stray. They don't have delivery except for me. So I take the food, like I said, I'm a minister, I minister. So I went and menaced the food out to the stray animals. And, so by the time I did all that, it's around 3:00. Now, by the time, I had to leave at 4. I had to leave my house at 4 to drive one. Well, technically, this is the beginning. This is the precursor of the talk about immigration. I cannot legally drive. I do not have documentation to legally drive. I, Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, do not have a license to drive. So when I do things, I need someone to take me places. And in my case, the person who takes me is G.D. Fenderson. He's a friend of mine. He has a license and he has a car that actually works very well. I do not have a license. And my wife, Mona, she does not like to do the shows. She does not like to do the shows. I don't blame her because, and it's not the shows themselves. It's the waiting around before the shows because I get there an hour before the show, and then hang out after the show, which is like another hour. So, but this show was 120 miles away, which a 2.5-hour drive for us. Now, and in order for GD to get there by the show, doors open at 6, shows start at 7. Now, we were not performing. Okay, we were not performing. We went there to see Jackie Martlin. Okay, I don't want y'all to think that, that we went there to see Jackie Martlin, and we were driving to Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Okay, we were not performing. We were going to the show to watch it. But GD is always ready to perform because, to be honest, the first time GD Fenderson headlined, it was because he was at a show. Well, actually, he was a feature, but the headliner didn't show up. And now it's not going to say that Jackie wasn't going to show up, but I'm just saying. So, and that's how GD got his first headlining gig. And the first time GD did his first 90-minute set was because he was the headliner. He was supposed to do an hour anyway, but the feature didn't show up, so GD had to cover that, his hour plus that 20 minutes. And then the guy who opened, who was supposed to do 15 minutes, after 2 minutes was doing so badly that he literally just, and we could tell he was bombed. Actually, when the venue reached out to GD and said, when they found out the feature wasn't showing up, they said to GD, I know you're supposed to do an hour. Can you do an hour 20? And GD goes, no problem. I'm ready. So, no sweat. Now, the opener is up there, and after 2 minutes, he's doing so badly that he just drops the mic and walks off the stage. And then the host looks at GD and says, can you do 90 minutes? Because the other comedian still had like 12 minutes left on his set. And he, and GD goes, yeah, I'm ready. I got it. Ready to go. So GD, whenever, honestly, if you are a comedian and you see GD Fenderson in the audience, know that he's ready to take over your job. If something goes wrong and they need a comedian, GD has already been preparing and he has material. He's ready to go. He's ready to do an hour on the spot, just like that, an hour to 90 minutes, half an hour if necessary, but he can be long-winded. He fucking got a lot of material. And so GD actually dressed as if he was going to perform just in case. Like I said, you don't know where opportunities are going to come for. And the thing is, people say that you luck, but it's not just luck, okay? Luck is one thing. The shit happens, okay? But you have to be prepared for the moment, all right? I give you an example. I used to work at a department store years ago, and the department store was right across the street from a place called Merriweather Post Pavilion. They held concerts there. And so at the department store, GD used to, GD worked there also. We both worked there. I worked in stationery. He worked in computers, home computers, and I worked in stationery. So there was and there were performers that used to perform there, and then they come into the store, they buy stuff, because Woody's was a fancy store. It was like the Macy's of the area. And they come in, and so we'd see celebrities and stuff like that. And so one time, the Rolling Stones were actually performing at the Merriweather, and I thought to myself, if Keith Richards gets sick, they're gonna need a guitar player. And so I had like a month, and I learned like every Stone song that I could learn just in case that Keith Richards got sick. Now, Keith Richards, you can't tell if he's sick or not. Matter of fact, he's never going to die. So that was the wrong band. What I should have did was if Sly and the Family Stone were still around and learned Sly's part, because that motherfucker never showed up. Or if Shaka Khan, because she was notorious for not showing up, I could learn her parts just in case she didn't show up, and then I could say I can do Shaka Khan's parts. But I was thinking Keith Richards, in case he had like a drug stupor or something, I could do. But the thing is, I was prepared just in case. Now, Keith Richards, if I didn't practice the parts and they said the Stones have to cancel because Keith Richards can't play, then I have to say, damn it. If only I had prepared for that moment, I could have stepped in for Keith Richards. Maybe that was a dream. Come to think of it, I think that was a dream. I don't think the Stones ever performed at Merriweather. It's a vivid dream. I have to Google that, because either it's a very vivid dream or the Stones played at Merriweather Post Pavilion. back in like 82 or 83. Now, and I don't know which it is now. It's been so long. When you get to my age, you can't tell a memory from a very vivid dream until you piss yourself. Then you know. It's, oh, that was not a dream. Look at all that wetness. So that's how you tell. Yeah, if you peed your pants, it's not a dream. Or it could have been a very wet dream. So that's not the point. The point is, officially, the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle is undocumented. Okay, so if he were to drive, or if I get caught in the street, I could be deported to back where I came from, which would be the mind of an 8-year-old child who saw his mother being felt up by the reverend at his father's funeral. That's when, that's where me and GD met. So they want to arrest me or take me back to where I was. They have to send me back to Airedale into the mind of an 8-year-old kid who was hiding underneath of a dining room table for comfort. But that's beside the point. The thing is, everybody came from somewhere, okay? None of us. Let me show you. Even now, true. If I had kids, if I had a kid, well, I do have kids, and my kids are documented. They have like birth certificates and little social security numbers, or as we call them in the business, SS numbers. That's what we call them, and you can find your little SS number in your permanent file. So my little SS kids, I'm so proud of them, But, oh, here we go. I'm looking for this, but not the green. What the hell? I'll do the green. All right. I think you can see this. Immigration. Now, first of all, there's a difference between immigration and emigration, okay? Emigration is when Emma leaves a country, okay? We're not talking about Emma leaving the country, so we don't have to discuss immigration today. But Emma Stone, Emma is in a movie called Poor Things, so you may want to check that out. And then if you check it out and have questions about immigration, then I'll answer it, okay? But we're going to talk about immigration, and that's coming in, okay? Emma is coming in. Emma is leaving, okay? Matter of fact, Emma has left the building. So immigration. So let's call this country. Let's say this is the country. And let's call this our country. All right. This is our country. Now, our country has another country above it, and we'll call it not our country. Okay. Not our country. And then there's another country below here, below our country, and we'll call it not our country either. All right. Not our country either. Now, the problem is with our country, it's not a problem actually, our country was based on the concept of cheap labor. That's it. Everything else, you can forget. You can forget everything that you learned in history about our country. You can forget the shit about the oppressive king and freedom of religion. Half of that's bullshit. Freedom from the king, that was true. They wanted to keep their shit. They wanted to keep their money, and they didn't want to pay taxes to the king. So like a lot of them just fled here with their wealth, and the rich people go like, we'll just take over this plot of land, okay? And we want to do it as cheaply as possible. So what do? They make deals with there were people already here before. We'll call this country, I don't know, abroad. We'll call this abroad. All right. Now, abroad can be a lot of trouble. If you don't know how to handle abroad, it can be the worst fucking experience of your life because you will lose every time. Okay? And that's the thing with dealing with abroad. You don't even have to be married to her. She can take half your shit anyway. And that was the problem here. The mother country, wanted to take half of their shit. And they said, no, you're not taking half our shit. We're going to fight you for it. And so this is the whole point is they're doing it because they want to keep their money. Now, the way people keep money is by not spending it, okay? Once you've earned it, like I said, now you're going to have to spend some of it, but they don't want to spend as much of it. So they had fields, they had fields, and if they paid regular people to work their fields, they'd be spending like this much money. But if they got, let's say, people of a lesser stature to do the work, they could pay them this much money, okay? And if these people were really so less of a stature that they weren't even considered to be people, they paid them that much money, all right? And a whole lot of that much money, a whole lot of nothing. That's what they paid them. And that's what this country is based on, all right? And not much has changed, see? There's a saying that one of the biggest lies, there's a saying, and you probably have heard it. Honest days pay, honest. I hate misspelling words. Honest days pay for honest days work. Honest day pay for honest day's work. Now, you can't see that, can you? There we go. Honest day's pay for honest day's work. There we go. Now, you've heard that expression, but it's a lie because these people, as a matter of fact, I don't even know who said that. I'm going to say Ben Franklin because back then, half the sayings that Ben Franklin was like the most quotable person in our country back then. If somebody said something, 9 out of 10 times, or 8 out of 10 times, it was Benjamin Franklin. And then once in a while, some other founding father got quoted, like, give me liberty, give me death. And that's all you know from that one person. You probably don't even know who said that. I think it was Sergeant Payne, window dressing. Some Payne wrote that. Give me liberty, give me death. But you don't know who, do you? See, that's not. But Benjamin Franklin, a penny saved is a penny earned. Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I think he said all those things. So now, an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. They were still saying that shit when I was growing up. I think they still say it today, but it's not true. And part of the reason why it's not true is because greedy fucks have all this money to spend, but they only want to spend that much. Actually, if they could, that's how much they spend. But this is how much nowadays they have to spend. All right. And that's where the people from not our country either comes in. Because not only turns out there are people in our country who don't want to spend any money. There are also people in our country who don't want to work hard for any money. Okay, and that's a lot of people. You may have a person who goes, you have a guy who goes like, I like to work the land. And he worked the land. He's got the hands to show it. He's got the blisters. He's got the tractors. He's got the wife with the 9 kids. so that they could all work the land. Okay. But they had those 9 kids so they could have cheap labor. They didn't have the 9 kids because they thought they were building a baseball team, a franchise. No, that's rich people shit. Poor people, rich people have 9 kids so they can build buy a baseball franchise. Poor people, actually rich people don't even have that many kids. They want like, I'm not sharing all this money with all these kids. Let's get like 1 or 2 and you know, that's it. Unless they're Catholic. Old school Catholic, and maybe whatever religions say rubbers are bad, those are them. But that's it. Poor people have kids because they don't want to spend the money on rubbers, or they need the labor force. So a lot of farmers had a lot of kids to help them work the land. But then there's people who don't want to fuck, but they want the cheap labor. Or they have so much land that no matter how much fucking they do, they can't make enough kids to work the land. So they import, or they get people from not our country either. And you're asking, well, why don't we get people from not our country to work cheaply here? Well, we do. But it's the skill set. From not our country, we import comedians, musicians, newscasters. We import newscasters like what was it, Brian Gumbel? He's a Canadian, you know. So that's what we import from not our country. But from not our country either, we import mainly laborers. Okay. Now, there's a reason for that. And the main reason is the color of their skin. That's the main reason. And that's it. It's because they have comedians down there. They have musicians down there. They have newscasters down there. But what they also have down there are a lot of brown people, which the people in our country, when they came over, one of the first things they left behind was a respect for people of a darker color. That's one of the first things they left. They didn't pack that. They didn't pack compassion. They packed their money. They packed their clothes. They packed their women folk, but they didn't pack compassion. Okay, so when they wanted land, they got it as cheaply as they could. They got poor people to push the people who already lived there off the land. Now, some of you have heard the term Native Americans or Indians, that's it. Yeah, they used to be here. They got pushed off, and every time they made a peace treaty with our country said fuck them, right up the ass, fuck them. Now, the reason that now these people here, not our country either, they have their own issues that war, violence. Some of that is because, guess what? People in our country destabilized their government, okay, because of resources. Our country was fucking these people over so much so that their governments couldn't stand the weight of our interference. And so gangs and shit like that, they started to take over and making things unstable. So there are people down there who are just honest people who just want an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. But they can't get that because gangs that we helped create because we destabilized their country, now they're coming here because they're looking for an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. That's all they want. So, and they still believe the hype. They still believe in that saying, honest day's pay for an honest day's work. The thing is, in our country, we don't like to pay laborers. We don't. If we could pay them nothing, we would. And we proved that with slavery. And we prove it with internships. And we prove it with indentured servitudes. And we prove it time and time again that if the rich fuckers could get away with paying us nothing to do their work, they would. Okay? So they just the not our country either people. The honest days pay for honest day work people. They're here to do the jobs that a lot of us people here don't want to do, okay, anymore. I worked 2 years on a farm, work in the fields, not cotton. Fuck no. I did 1 day picking cotton, and I thought to myself, why did it take those niggas so long to fight back? Because I did 1 day and I was ready to kill a whitey, and I was hanging out with my own in-laws. It was just one of those things we thought would be funny. You know, I was hanging out with the in-laws. My in-laws are white. And I said, oh, looky here, a cotton field. Wouldn't it be funny if I took a picture with y'all and I'm picking cotton? Wouldn't that be funny? Well, that was technically, it wasn't even a whole day. It was like 20 minutes of picking cotton. But I did it without gloves, and I did it the old-fashioned way, picking the cotton seeds out of the cotton. All right. And like I said, in 15 minutes, I was ready to kill my own in-laws, my own family. I'm like, motherfucker, 15 minutes. I'm ready to kill my own fucking family picking cotton. I can't imagine picking cotton for your whole life and not killing people. Whitey. Y'all are so fucking lucky. I mean, because I've been killing some people. I'm telling you now. Because after 15 minutes, I was ready to kill my own family. 15 years, I'm killing yours. Just so you know. Damn. That's beside the point. Lucky motherfuckers. Lucky. Nikki Haley didn't tell you that part of history. So, I mean, there was like I said, I worked in the fields. I did my time there. I know, like, there's some people who work for, there's a young man, I can't think of his name. Damn it, I wish I could think of his name, but he's like involved with Mind Dog TV, and he worked like in Orange Groves, I think, in Florida. He did something, so he understands what I'm talking about as well. So, there were people, us, from our country who did used to do those jobs. But, you have to pay us a different wage because guess what? Actually, they weren't, when I worked the farm, I didn't make minimum wage. I got less than minimum wage. There was some kind of loophole because, first of all, I was a teenager. And that's the other thing. Because I was a teenager, I think I was 15. Because I was 15, I didn't have the same rights as someone who was, let's say, 18. So I was getting paid less than minimum wage. And they took out, quote, taxes. But I don't know what kind of taxes, because I never got any kind of receipt for that. I just got paid in a check, a personal check. And I'd say, wait a second, I worked 40 hours, shouldn't I have $40 or whatever it was? And they go, well, $80 or something. And they go like, yeah, you should, but we took out taxes, Social Security. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that was it. Never asked about it. Well, I asked about it again. And every time I asked, one of the other workers go like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's how it's done here. And I'm like, okay. All right, sure. But so I got paid less than minimum wage. As you get older and you develop more rights, let's say 18, 19, 20, and also depending on the field you're in, you have to be paid minimum wage. Unless there's a lobby group big enough to say everybody gets paid minimum wage unless you're a dishwasher or unless you're a waitress, or unless you're a laborer, farm, not a pharmacist. Pharmacists get paid, but a farm laborer, a farm worker, they get fucked. Pharmacist gets paid, farm worker gets fucked. So there's certain things, carve outs, so people don't have to get paid minimum wage. One of those things are your little farm workers. Now, part of that is because people like us, we want to buy things cheap. That's the other thing. We have a country that doesn't want to spend any money. So people like us don't want to pay any money because we're not getting paid a lot to begin with. And the less we get paid, the less we want to spend, or the less we get paid, the less we have to spend. So that means the things that we want to buy have to cost less. And how do you make those things cost less? Well, you have to do it through labor. Is one of the ways. Now, what they could do by machines, they're doing by machines. Okay. And machines have replaced a lot of people at grocery stores, at warehouses, coal mining stuff. Like the coal mine jobs were not, a lot of jobs were not, okay, first of all, most of the jobs that we've lost over the decades was not because of cheap labor, not because they took our jobs. It's because the rich people sent our jobs, okay? Rich people sent our jobs abroad. Rich people gave our jobs to computers and robots because they want to spend less. So let's stop blaming brown people for taking our jobs. Most of the jobs are sent or given away, not stolen, like some of you motherfuckers keep wanting to think. Nikki Haley, Donald Trump, mothers, fucking mothers. So, but I need room to write. I need a bigger board. Lord have mercy. So here's the deal. Now, I'm sorry, I just wiped out a whole country. Just call me COVID. I'm going to wipe out 3 countries. Yeah, just call me fucking COVID under the Donald Trump regime. Just wiped out millions of people for no good fucking reason. Could have been prevented, but hey. When my wife, Mona, and I used to live in Florida. And when we lived down there was this movement. That people were trying to get going. Matter of fact, they did get it going. Okay. And here was the deal. The laborers who picked tomatoes were not being paid a living wage. And not just tomatoes, but tomatoes, corn, no, the people that pick out the things that we eat, things that we need to survive, they weren't making a living wage and they didn't have health insurance. But somebody figured out that if grocery stores charged 1 penny more for each tomato, and didn't take that profit, but gave it back to the laborers, they actually could have health care and better wages. 1 penny more for a tomato. And then a lot of the bigger grocery stores went along with it. One that I remember, and if I got this wrong, I will stand corrected. Okay. If I got it wrong, and it wasn't Publix, I'll apologize. But if it isn't, and if it is Publix, y'all fucked up. Okay. It was 1 penny more. The people in Florida didn't have a problem with that. Not that I'm aware of. I didn't know anybody who had a problem with paying 1 penny more per tomato to help out the people who picked the food that we ate. Public's like, no. If we charge an extra penny, we want it for us. We're not giving them a penny. Fuck them. See, that's one of the things that we could do to help. Okay. Now, here's the deal. We have jobs here that, let's face it, good law-abiding citizens of the United States just don't want to do for whatever fucking reason, okay? Dishwashing, picking the food, the trash, construction work, but there are people who are willing to do it. the honest day's work for the honest day's pay. There are people out there who want to do the honest day's work, for the honest day's pay. Okay, there are people out there who want to do that. The honest day's work for the honest day's pay. Because they still believe in that. The problem is the people in charge of giving the honest day's pay aren't honest anymore. What fucking lie? They never were honest to begin with. So let's say we have, and I'm gonna make these numbers up. So if you fact check me and go, those numbers aren't right, I just told you I'm making these numbers up. Don't fuck with me. But let's say we have 4 million jobs that nobody wants to do, but they're still out there. We can let in 4 million people to do those 4 million jobs. Okay? Just literally just matching jobs to people and families. Okay? Excuse me. So it could be more than 4 million people, but let's say 4 million families, whatever. But 4 million workers to 4 million jobs. We can let them in. Okay? Those jobs are there. We can pay them decent money. It's just that we, as a country, have to be willing to solve this problem. The Senate put together a bill, an immigration reform bill. And Biden said he'd sign it. The Senate says, we're happy with this. Mike Johnson talked to Donald Trump, and they decided, no, don't fix immigration. Because here's the deal. If Mike Johnson takes up that bill and they work, they put a big dent in the immigration problem, the fight over immigration for them is more important than solving immigration. See, as long as they can fight over immigration, they can get people upset. As long as they fight over immigration, they can get people to send in money. All right. They don't care about the solving. They care about the fighting. That's what's more important to them. Okay. And especially during election season, they want people riled up. Mike Johnson and those MAGAs, there's a bill available right now to help ease the problems at the border, to help solve some of our problems with some of these jobs that nobody wants to do. Because food, if it's not picked, it goes bad. And if it goes bad, farmers lose money and we lose food. And then when there's less food out there by supply and demand, prices go up. So what you can do, one of the things that we can do is we can call our representatives in DC and look it up yourself. Look, you learn your own, something. That's the other thing. Do you fucking know who your representatives are? If you don't, that's part of your problem. Learn your fucking representatives and call them. Don't email them. Call them. Let them hear your voice. Tell Mike Johnson and all those little MAGA people to look at the bill before you just said, I'm not doing it because we want the fight, not the resolution. Okay, we can call those people and call your representative. First of all, learn who your representative is, call your representative, and then tell them, stop fucking fighting and start working. Lord have mercy. I have to take 1 second here because I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot to. I don't know where my shit is. Well, technically, I know where my shit is. I just can't. Damn it. Yeah, I'm looking. Actually, I'm trying to find the things here. I'm trying to. What is it? I know. I'm almost running out of time, but actually, see, I'm trying to see my comments, and I can't pull them up here, and I don't want to walk over there and check out the comments. I'm trying to pull them up on this thing here, and I can't find them. I want to see the comments so I can at least respond to one or two before the time runs out. And I know it's something. I'll just look like that, and I can't read it from here. All right. Well, I apologize for not being able to read your comments because shit. Let's do this. I am a smart person from time to time. I have my moments, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually, I have videos I can show you, but they're too long. They're a lot too long than how much time we have left. And damn it. So there we go. I found it. All right, Patrick Henry. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Patrick Henry. So there you go. I can't read all the comments. I don't have access to all of the comments. I'm just seeing 3 comments. Oh, bless you, brother Ian, and bless you, brother Conway. But yeah, I hope that we made some sense of this immigration thing. We can fix it. It's just we need help from Congress. And the only way Congress is going to help us if we call them and just fucking yell at them. Yell at their assistants, let them know that they need to fucking work instead of fight. So as far as the show from last night, it was good. We enjoyed the show. And those of you who want to know why I couldn't work out my stuff in advance is because even though GD was driving, I didn't trust him to stay awake. By the time we got, I never even finished the snow thing, and I'm not going to be able to finish the snow thing, but I still got snow in my driveway. The wind blew my driveway. It's covered with snow again. I got to go back out there and shovel my that's it. It's not the snow that's the problem. It's the wind that's covered up. The wind is the problem now. So that's where I'm going to be going in about 2 minutes. So I thank you for watching and hanging out with us and for dealing with the fact that I didn't write a script. I didn't write a single fucking thing down. I apologize. Not one thing did I work on in advance. But I hope that my lack of research on this very important issue didn't fuck things up. The thing is, whatever's going on out there, we can fix it. We just have to make a decision to do it. Learn your representatives, call them motherfuckers. All right? In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah!